Greetings, Light Drive, Jenny Palmer here, Spirit, Silver Moon, Harmony, Energy Healing, and just want to do a video about social media, and I suppose the pros and cons from my limited perspective of it to date. So when I started doing it, when I finally got on a few years ago, it was after a time of lots of hardships, and so I was going through a period of healing, and I was learning a lot about energy healing and thoughts and positive things for rising out of hard things, and which typically does and can include negative thinking about things. And so I started doing little positive quotes, and I started a page for that. And then when I really started writing, I started other pages for the different things that I was posting. Well, from studying religions, I did one that went into a lot of deeper, interesting views and studies about that. And then a page for the book, and then a different page for the writings for the poetic books. So, but a lot of people were sending me friend requests, and a lot of people from India and all over the world, and friends will kind of come in, and then they kind of, you don't hear from them too much anymore. And the thing is, we can do positive works through this. It can be used for gossip, it can be used for negative, it can be used for positive, it can be used for so many things. And I mean, like, I got a friend request the other day of some chick bent over with her huge backside kind of hanging out of her skirt and humongous boobs, and it's like, okay, I don't know why she's sending me that, but delete, you know what I mean? So maybe there's different ways that we get attention through this. Okay, so like for myself, I've made a lot of really great friends who have been very supportive to me, and I'm thankful for that. And so I appreciate those friends and those connections, and what I've learned from them, and how many of them have been supportive to me, and some of them have also been huge tests, okay, for me to learn to set boundaries. So, sometimes we can tell by looking at a profile if it's legit or not. And people are going to come along our path that are going to test us. So some people might, some people are very lonely maybe, and they make friends on here. They can interact with their family and they meet friends, and so it's good for them to have that interaction. Okay, and so we might meet people on here who are very wounded. They might tend to be clingy. They might want to, it's a time suck. It's almost like an energy vampire thing. It's like needy. They want that interaction. And so you have to set the boundaries. It's like, okay, just let people know what's up. Is that, you're not a babysitter and you can't be there for them all the time. But there are people that are legitimately good, supportive friends, kind friends that, we learn from everyone. And somebody was talking to me the other day, a friend of mine, about how some people are doing good on here, right? And they're using it for a purpose. But what is that purpose, really? Because I think what he said was people creating victims so they can be the rescuer of the victim. And yeah, there's something to that, that's for sure. Um, so it's just being aware and being careful. Because sometimes if we're vulnerable, if we feel lost, if we feel wounded, if we, and a friend comes in and they can be helpful. But see, people, like I was talking about in another video, will hone in on weaknesses and angers and jealousies, right? And might use those to control you or use them against you somehow. And sometimes you just have to find out the hard way, and about setting boundaries. So, I just want to say with this video is some people have a lot of friends, a lot of collections of friends. And like I have a lot of friends on my friends list, but I don't interact with a lot of them. I interact with a handful of people. There's certain people that have similar interests, and certain things will be discussed, certain things are shared on different pages and groups. It's good, it's fun. But then the drama can ensue. And what it gets nasty is when jealousies and expectations come into play, and then when people will use things against you, even things that, you open up and talk about things with people, and then they want to judge you and use those against you. Or, like I said, this social media can be used for good, but it can also be used for foul fuckery. So just be careful, be aware, choose wisely. If something doesn't feel right, like if energies are going lower and it's just unpleasant, unkind, disrespectful, cut it out. Honor yourself and your space. And just be aware that, when people are out there doing that, they're just wounded. They're like a caged animal or something. I don't know. But you don't need to be their victim. Okay? So just beware that when people act like that, it is maybe that wounded child or the woundedness of them that's doing that, but that doesn't give them a license to manipulate or harm others or spread rumors or do character defamation, because for some reason, God knows why, they feel justified in doing it. But it's all a learning experience. Okay, so we learn from all of it. Even the ones who test us and hurt us and trip us up, they're teachers. They make us stronger and wiser. Peace.